Hey, hey guys, thanks for joining me today. This is a brand new day and a brand new way of doing things. Normally I'd be standing on a podium and I'd see you guys, but I can't. So I'm really glad you came, and I hope to make this 15 minutes really worth your while. A couple of things. I've got palm trees in the background. I wish that we were all in Florida enjoying palm trees, but we will get back there. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the power of words, branding, and brand language. This is something that is near and dear to my heart. I'm a digital marketer, and I think that this is super relevant for both for brands as well as for retailers. And I hope to show you some examples and then some analytics around why that is in the next 15 minutes. A little bit about me. I'm Phil Chang. I'm a marketer and podcaster that loves digital. That's my contacts there on the left side. I think that marketing digitally is a skill that everyone needs to learn to adopt. And I love telling stories. That is, I love to tell customer stories. So helping people understand what their value proposition is, how to communicate it. I work with retailers of all shapes and sizes. And I work with brands generally between 2 and 10 million revenue to help them grow with purpose. And I'm kind of like all over the place. I do pet. I love pet. It's my favorite industry. I also look at biometric security, consumer packaged goods, tech startups, that sort of thing. So today I'm going to talk to you about how words have power and what that means to you. It's a super important part of your business to have your branding and your brand messaging up. Without it, you're handcuffing your ability to grow. We've all seen it this year that digital and being online is critically important. And so if you don't have your words in a row, if you don't have them right, you're going to have problems. A marketing message, that's what words turn into. A marketing message isn't a fluffy message. It shouldn't be something that you keep in your PowerPoint deck, for banks or investors or stakeholders. When you're building your brand, the words that you use matter, the way in which you use them matter, and then the order in which you use them matter. And when you do that much work, you should always do that work up front if you can. If you're an existing brand and you haven't done that, you should do that post-haste. And once you've done them, they work for you in all walks of life, and they work through everything that you have. And it's critically important that you do that. So if you have a marketing message, if it's languishing or hiding in your PowerPoint deck, get it out there. Get it in front of your employees, get it in front of your consumers and your partners. Your stakeholders, your investors, if they've seen it, obviously it means something to them. There's something there that's super important. So make sure it doesn't hide on paper anywhere. It should live through everything that you have. Basic elements of a marketing message. You should always have an audience in mind. As salespeople, or people that want to conquer the commercial world, we tend to say everybody. Everybody is not an audience. You have to have a target audience. You have to be thinking about somebody who will buy your product, the most ideal people. You also need a value proposition that the audience will care about. And then finally, you need key phrases or concepts that you can use in print, digital, verbal, that talk about who you are, what you deliver in value, and why it's important to the consumer. All these things are really important. It's important to be deliberate about what you have, the words you use, and then it's important to repeat it over and over again. So at this point, what I'm going to do is show you a couple of examples of some big brands that have done this well. These are not the definitive brands, but these are ones that I like. And then I'm going to show you some analytics that will show you definitively why you need to do this. So this more fashion choices that are good for people, the planet, and your wallet. So this is H&M. They're a clothing company, a clothing retailer that has done a very, very good job of communicating who they are. So you can see there that they have an audience in mind. They also talk about what those audiences care about, so the people and your wallet. And then they tell you what they are, which is they have fashion, and they have fashion that's good for people. Okay, so they've covered the brand promise really easily, very quickly, you know, and it's super simple. How does that come to life? So right now it's just a brand message. For H&M, where I think the words really activate, if you look at how they deliver it, this is just some of you know, the material that they put out. You can see what we do. They talk about it. They blow up that message. They turn that messaging into more messaging that makes things come together. So the what we do part there, who we are, again, paired with strong imagery, drives some really, really great, you know, impressions that, one, for consumers, helps them visualize, what are these guys like? What do they do? Who are they? And then from a partner standpoint, you start to understand, do I want to partner with these people? Are they retailers that I want to be part of? So all of this comes together into an impression that you leave with partners and with, you know, with consumers that, you know, can, you know, that want to buy your product. They take that one step further. That message translates into, you know, values, the H&M spirit. So they talk about who they are, all derived from the same brand messaging. And this is for employees. So employees know why they need to transmit that message. They feel it. There's an attitude that pervades, that comes out of the brand messaging, that helps people understand, you know, where the source of this messaging comes from, what that inspiration is. And then that carries through, because then your employees feel it, your consumers start to see it, and then your partners, potential partners, want to be part of what you're doing because they also feel it. Okay, so all critically important. Here's another example, Starbucks, you know, just some great imagery, you know, to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, one neighborhood at a time. You know, I'm a coffee lover. I can't stress enough how much happiness a cup of coffee brings me. So right about now, you know, at Global Pet, if you've ever met me, I usually have a cup of coffee in my hand. So you can imagine how much I love this kind of thing, but it's all inspirational, right? So the messaging, and then all of the cascades that come out of this, the best copy for the best you. These things are they're paired together as something that is inspiring, that helps you think about how you'd want to, you know, be more. Drives consumers to them, drives partners to them. Again, it lays out that feel for how we want to do business, who we are, and then what we'd like to, what we'd like you to walk away with when you buy our product or you work with us. Okay, critically important. So all of this comes together nicely. In case those don't pop for you, I gave you 12 different examples of great brand promises. I won't go through them all. There's some really cool ones here. I tried to pick all over the place. I left pet out because I didn't want us to, as pet people, we tend to compare. I didn't want to do that here. So I did want to give you things that were pretty common in your everyday life that are really great brand examples. That I think are super interesting. You know, so anyway, so some really cool examples there of things that are really great. Now, what I did want to do is show you some things about what, you know, where you should use it. And then, so I've shown you where you can use it. What I want to say to you is, once you've got that crafted, you should be using these everywhere. So in live chat with your employees, in social media, you know, in verbal conversations, in print, if you're still doing print advertising, your social posts, everything should pervade from that brand messaging. Literally use it everywhere, because you've done the work to think about who you are and what you are, and you want to communicate that as consistently as you can everywhere. That helps your message get out, that helps people understand who you are, and that repeats itself over and over again. Now, I wanted to show you a tiny bit of analytics that help you understand what all of this means, right? Because brand messaging is generally been ethereal. It's like, ooh, cool. You know, you spent some time, what do we do with it? It just sits there. No, it doesn't. There's actually an analytic reason why you want to do this. So I did this work. I will say right now that the numbers have been changed. I did this work with, I actually seen this in a bunch of cases. So this is one case with one brand where we went through and we did two different things. So in the top section, you'll see custom ad 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are Facebook, Instagram ads where, you know, these are things that are, that we've done custom ads for. And then the green line, the brand message ad 1 and 2, basically is is taking the brand messaging that they've done and they've turned it into, you know, really like ads, right? So, so custom ad is we went out and dreamt up slogans, you know, kind of did the madman thing and thought about things that we think the consumer would love. The cost column is what it cost us in Facebook ads. The number of transactions is the number of clicks and transactions. You can see revenue down the middle column there, and then cost per transaction is transactions or cost divided by transactions, and then revenue per dollar spent is based on revenue against the cost. And so what you'll see there is the custom ads. When we dreamed about slogans and catchy marketing phrases, we got okay ads. So we spent $1,500. This is over a span of a month. And this is peak season over a span of a month, got 132 clicks, transactions, and we drove about $4,000 in revenue. Like I said, these numbers are kind of messed up. I'm not going to tell you up or down, but the revenue numbers are real, just factored out differently. The cost per transaction was $12.90, so a bit on the expensive side, average to expensive for a Facebook, Instagram ad. And then the revenue we generated per dollar spent was $6. Now, if you take the thinking you've already done on marketing and you put it into play and you don't madman the exercise. So if you just use your brand promise, because you've already done the work, you know the audience, look at the difference. We spent roughly the same, about $1,500 in cost. We got twice as many transactions, 209. And then we got revenue. So we got 4 times the revenue or 3 times the revenue, I guess, depending on how you see that, $13,300. Our cost per transaction came down and our revenue per dollar spent went up. That means that if you put the marketing message that you have in play into action, you can get a more efficient spend. And this doesn't include any of the time spent on madmanning the, you know, thinking about different slogans, thinking about different pitches, coming up with new things. If you stick to your brand plan and you communicate it, you will get efficiency and you'll get return on investment every time. Okay, so hopefully these numbers make sense. Finally, do it and use it. So build your brand message. Once you've built it, use it everywhere. Teach it to your people, make sure that they're communicating it, teach it to your customer, learn from your customer. So when you teach it to your customer, when they replay it back to you, listen to make sure that you're hearing the right thing. And then from there, change it, iterate it, make sure that you're kind of fine tuning it, but that it always makes sense, that it stays true to who you are, and then always measure it. So what I did on the last page there, you should keep doing it. Keep doing it, keep doing it. You will find a sweet spot that will help you. Okay, so that is the power of words. That's the power of brand messaging. Thank you for, thank you for, being here and listening to me. You can find me at phil@retailphil.com or phil@retailphil.com or www.retailphil.com. If you have any questions about this, I would love to help. If not, I hope you enjoy Global Pet Conference, and this was a little stimulating 15 minutes of your day. After this, go get a coffee, enjoy the palm trees, and we'll see you soon.